Welcome to Kit's Rock Review, coming to you from lovely upstate New York, and it is actually lovely today. Sunny, high 70s weather outside. Anyway, this is a little impromptu Kit's Rock Review. Yesterday I was reminded, looking on the internet, that it is the 30th anniversary of this album, the Black Crowes Southern Harmony Musical Companion. This album came out 30 years ago today. Today is May 12th. 2022. This album came out May 12th, 1992, 30 years ago. And actually, this is the original CD that I bought in 1992. I still have my copy of it. I treat my music collection very well, as you all probably have guessed. I actually remember buying this CD. I have a very vivid memory of buying this CD. Back in the 90s, CDs used to come out, new music used to come out on Tuesdays. And so I was at college, got in my little black Ford Escort, drove down to the Last Unicorn Music Store. Those of you in upstate New York, do you remember the Last Unicorn Music Stores? They were awesome. Anyway, it was late morning. The store opened around 10 o'clock-ish. And I knew that this was coming out. I knew it was being released. So I went down to Last Unicorn to buy it. It had just opened. I went in the store. And there were these cardboard boxes of the new CDs that they were going to put in the racks. I found the cardboard box that had the Southern Harmony Musical Companion by the Black Crowes, grabbed a copy, went to the cash register and checked out, and drove back to college. When I got in the dorm parking lot, one of my friends was there, and he was getting out of his car too. And I was like, "Hey, look what I got." And he was like, "Hey, Kit, look what I got." We both had gotten the Black Crowes CD. We were probably the first two people at our college to get these. And it's been a steady listen for me ever since. Southern Harmony Musical Companion here, Black Crowes' second album. It's the first album to feature Mark Ford on guitar. That's this guy right here. And it also features Eddie Harsch on keyboards, and he was a longtime keyboard player for the Black Crowes, the late Eddie Harsch. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. This is their second best-selling album. The best-selling album is, of course, Shake Your Moneymaker, their first, which sold over 5 million copies. This sold 2 million copies. Some of the songs everyone knows on it. Everyone knows the hits, Sting Me and Remedy. But there are other familiar songs that weren't hits, but were familiar to people that are rock fans, like Thorn in My Pride and Sometimes Salvation. My favorite song on this is a song called Hotel Illness. Very early 70s, very Stones-ish. Like the harmonica that Chris Robinson plays in it, that's what does it for me. But this album, it ends with a cover song. It ends with Time Will Tell, which is a Bob Marley song. And we all know the Black Crowes are famous for doing covers. I mean, Time Will Tell is on here. Plus, their first big hit was Hard to Handle. And if you didn't know that, the Black Crowes didn't write Hard to Handle. Hard to Handle was an Otis Redding song. And I remember back in the early 90s when I was first listening to the Black Crowes, Chris Robinson said it was their mission, the Black Crowes' mission, to bring Otis Redding through Hard to Handle to the masses. And that's awesome. And earlier last week, on May 4th, 2022, speaking of covers, the Black Crowes released an EP. It's their first studio-ish album. It's an EP, so it's not that long, of new material since 2009. But this is it. It's called 1972. Every song on here is a cover. That's why I started out with the covers. I got it in the mail yesterday because, it's hard to go to a record store nowadays, which I find sad. There's something about going to a record store and flipping through the records, flipping through the CDs that you just can't get by going on your phone and, I don't have that song. It's not the same experience. Much better experience when you're in a record store flipping through records. But anyway, I got this yesterday in the mail. And of course, I listened to it. It's a really quick listen. As I said, it's an EP. For those of you who don't know your music history, LPs, the old vinyl records were called LPs, or LP meant long player, because it was between 45 and 50 minutes. An EP is an extended play. It's not quite as long as a long play, an extended play, so it's probably 30-ish or so minutes. This song on all EPs were like around 30 minutes. And then a single was, a smaller record, featured one song on one side, one song on the other side, or if you got a double A-sided single like the Beatles' Come Together or something that had 2 songs on each side. But anyway, this EP has 6 songs on it. They're all covers, and if you haven't guessed, they're all from 1972, which is the name of the album. I listened to this yesterday when I was driving to do some laundry, when I was going to get groceries, so it was a relatively quick listen. It's a good record. I urge you to get the latest from the Black Crowes. Now, the Black Crowes, they said, Chris and Rich Robinson, they're planning to record a new album of original songs, but since they just got back together after a few years of being apart, they said this is a baby step to recording a new album by doing covers. And probably sometime in the fall, winter, they're going to start recording a brand new Black Crowes album of original material. But, you know, this is what you'd expect. The Black Crowes, when they first came out, everyone said, you know, they sound like the Stones, they sound like the Faces. They definitely showed their influence, and you can tell the influence on here. You know, it starts off with a Stones song, Rocks Off. That's from Exile on Main Street, but it's also, the Black Crowes covered it on here. Then we got The Slider, which is a song by T-Rex. For those who don't know too much in your history, T-Rex, you probably heard the song Bang a Gong. That's T-Rex. They covered The Slider. Then they actually, it surprised me because the Crowes definitely sound like the Faces. And by the way, one of the Faces albums which you should get is called Long Player. Another Faces album you should get is Ooh La La. But anyway, one of the lead singer of the Faces was one Rod Stewart. And they cover You Wear It Well, which is a Rod Stewart song. The Crowes version is a little more electric than Rod Stewart's, but it's still a good song. Then they actually listed a side A and side B. I don't know if you can see that even on the CD, side A and side B. So those are the 3 songs on side A. Side B, you know, we're going to start with the last song. Papa Was Rolling Stone. I heard them, I saw them on YouTube. They released a live clip of Papa Was Rolling Stone. I was very surprised that the Crowes, I know they wear their influence, but I never thought that the Crowes would cover a song by The Temptations. But you know, that shows their influence, right? And they do turn it. They do turn it into a Crowes song. It's a lot harder edged. Got some great Chris Robinson harmonica on it. And the last 2 songs on this, which are the second and first songs on this EP, are actually kind of my favorites. They got Montage Daydream, which is a David Bowie song, and Rich Robinson and Isaiah Mitchell, who's the touring guitarist with the Crowes these days. They do some excellent guitar work on Montage Daydream. It's nice going back and forth with each other. My favorite song is what's called the first song on side 2, although it's a CD here, so there is no really 1 and 2 sides. My favorite is Easy to Slip. It's actually not even sung by Chris Robinson. It's sung by Rich Robinson. Nice acoustic little song. The rest of this is pretty electric, but Easy to Slip, nice acoustic song from Little Feat. Awesome. So if you're a Black Crowes, if you're a music fan, get this record. Especially get it if you're a Black Crowes fan. And if you're a fan of any of the bands they cover, you will not be disappointed in 1972. The only disappointing thing that I have is, you know, 1972 is also the year that Neil Young released Harvest, and they didn't cover a Neil Young song on here. But that's okay. So, if you're a Black Crowes fan, get this EP, 1972. You won't be disappointed. Also, take a spin, get this out, play it, because it's 30 years old now, and it's still a good listen even after 30 years. So, Southern Harmony Musical Companion is 30 years old. 1972 is 1 week old. Get them, listen to them, and until next time, keep on rocking in the free world. I'll see you later.